Hey listening friends, I'm your host and coach Laura Malone. As an entrepreneur and leader, wife and mom, teacher and creator, I am showing up to share possibility with you and help you find vision and wisdom because you deserve to be equipped and released as the hero of your own story. Coaching really does help you change your life. And if you want to know how to guide yourself and others well, I created this podcast just for you. It's a place where you can grab tools, teachings, and ideas for both personal and spiritual growth, as well as entrepreneurship and coaching if that's your thing. So as you listen in, I pray I can help you create a legacy of impact and really start writing the story of a life you love living. Now let's jump into today's episode. All right, we're in the Fresh Start series, and I just realized that all my episodes are actually correlating to the date so far in January, with episode 101 on the 1st, 102 on the 2nd, 103 on the 3rd, and here we are, 104 on the 4th, and let's just see if I can't keep the track going to episode 131 on the 31st. I'm almost maybe challenging myself a little bit to do it. We'll see how it goes. So I want to talk about gradual improvement today. So there's a guy named James Clear, and he wrote a book called Atomic Habits, and he talks about the 1% rule. And I really appreciate it because it's the mindset that you don't have to be exponentially better at anything than other people. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be 200% more. You simply need to gradually improve. And he talks about just 1% more, 1% better, 1% each moment, each day, each time you try something, just give it 1% more, because he states that, the small differences leads to very high reward when all of those small differences are added up over time. So he talks about habits in Atomic Habits, obviously, because they are so important in the types of differences that you can make as you build healthy, wise, impactful habits. So you can do all of the right things, but when you're doing things in a consistent manner, you are gaining an edge that other people aren't. Because if you gradually improve again and again and again, daily, every time you do something, do it 1% more. And so that really, break it down, it's not that scary. And if you look at, 1% more of you're lifting a weight, well, if today I lift that weight 10 times and tomorrow I lift that weight 11 times, and the next day I lift it, what would that be? 12.1 times? You're just going to add one more to everything that you do. And then see the next day, 13, the next day, 14. Even if it's not a true 1% of something, add a little bit. Just add a little bit of resistance. Create more growth. Build more muscle in any one area every time you try something, every time you do something at work, every time you go after something, give it a little bit more, right? And you only have to be doing slightly better than anybody else, and you still win the race. You only have to be a nose in front of your competitor, and you win, right? Because somewhere along the way, you gave extra push. And maintaining that, making that a habit that you mindfully consider with everything that you do, how can I give it a little bit more today? How can I give that a little bit more this time, this go around, right? And over time, that's going to build up and give you greater results and more hope. So what can you start doing now that's incremental? I suggest just pick one thing to focus on and give it a week of attention and intention. So let's just say it's exercising, because a lot of people start fresh with that. I am myself. Every day for a week, put on workout clothes and shoes and stay in them while you do everything else. You know, if you work from home, obviously, if you need to put on your what do you call that when you go to work? Maybe you have uniform. It's been a long time since I wore a uniform. So if you do stay at home or even in the morning, just maybe you don't make it all the way to the gym, but create a habit that you put on workout clothes, even if you change out of them, and actually break the habit that you believe that if you put workout clothes on, you must go work out. What if you just put on workout clothes because that's the thing you're practicing? You win if after a week you don't work out, but you put on workout clothes. You got on your sneakers. You did all of the things. Now you win because you created a habit. You overcame the mindset that if I put on workout clothes, I must work out. What if the win is I'm just going to build the habit and the practice of putting on my workout clothes? Next week, I'll see what the next step is, how I can take that one step further. Maybe I simply walk the dog instead of letting the dog go into the yard because I've already got my workout clothes, because that is the habit I've created for myself. So make this one thing your action step that actually gets you in the habit, getting ready to work out. Or fries and sauce. Decide that when you need to eat out, you always eat a salad with lighter dressing instead of a side of fries and Chick-fil-A sauce. You know that's where I'm going with it, right? So decide that you always choose a side salad instead of a side of fries. This is a very difficult habit for me. It's actually something I don't want. I want my fries and I want my sauce. But for January, I'm making some choices for my personal Malone reset every January is that I decide what my body needs. I do a reset. I cut out a bunch of stuff. I add in a bunch of stuff, and I get myself set up and ready to go. It's a bit of a purge from the holidays. It's a bit of a fast physically. And it also really helps me reset my focus and regain some things that I might have lost in the last season in my relationship with the Lord because of focus being on other things. So in January, I'm not having any fries or sauce. And it's okay, but I got my eyes on the bigger picture. And so I'm just going with the 1%. Maybe it's actually supposed to be maybe the 1% is not, it's just fries and not sauce. That would be cheating. I'm sorry. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going back on it. I'm having vegetables, and I'm not going to have ranch dressing, and I'm not going to put Chick-fil-A sauce on my salad because I've been known. So let's move on and get off of the, what I'm doing. I'm starting to feel convicted about my fries and sauce. I'm sad. So maybe every morning you read 2 pages, only 2 pages. Maybe it's only 1 page. Maybe it's just 1 paragraph of a book that's actually going to grow you and serve you well. Okay? Maybe that's the Bible. Maybe it's the Bible and something else, like the 5 a.m. club or something. Maybe the Lord has a book for you to read. Or maybe every day you get up and you journal and you shoot for 100, 300, 500 words a day. It doesn't matter. I don't care about my word count. Sometimes I just get up, I open a document on my computer, and I just start saying all the stuff that I need to say. I get all the stuff off my chest. I write it rough and raw and messy, and I don't care because I'm actually just going to delete it. I'm never going to title it. I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to delete it. But I get all that stuff out. It all just gets surrendered to the Lord right there. It's not some big ritual or religious thing. It's just putting it out there and getting it off of me and out of me. And I don't know, sometimes it's 1 page, sometimes it's like 7. You could write it with pen and paper. You could take a walk and record it and then delete the recording. But sometimes it's just like a good purge of all the things that are weighing you down and get them out of your head. Everything that's in the dark likes to grow. And so if you keep this stuff in your head and it's it's kind of snowballing into something that is harmful to your narrative, your paradigm, your beliefs and thoughts, get it out, right? Just see what that does for you. Anything that is incremental and helps you build the habit of doing the first thing that will lead to the second thing eventually is going to benefit you. So simply just think about what is the one thing that you can do a little bit different to help you operate at a higher level, 1% higher, 1% better, 1% more. What is that for you right now? And if you practice this and you're mindful about it, you're going to see yourself closer to your vision than you ever thought you could get. Rather than if you don't pay attention at all and you stay static, you stay doing what you're doing, it's going to take a lot longer to reach that horizon. But I know you can do this, friends. So bless you, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. I so appreciate you as a listener. And if you are looking for a community of like-hearted believers who love all things coaching, be sure to jump into the Christian Life Coach Collective Facebook group. Do you think you might be called to become a certified Sterling and Stone life coach? We'll learn more about the Greenhouse course, where you can get trained in just 10 weeks to start building the foundation of your coaching practice. All the links you need are in the show notes. Happy story making.